Hello everybody and welcome to the House of Sovereign. This is the channel that I share with my family, with my little brother. Expect lots of silliness over here. We're gonna have vlogs, motorcycle stuff, video games. We are a gaming household, so this is gonna be a lot more light and fluffy and innocent things going on over here. And you saw the title, and yes, I am confessing. I am a simmer. I am a lifelong simmer. I love The Sims. I have loved The Sims ever since the first Sims ever came out. I played The Sims 1, played Sims Bustin' Out, played Sims 2. Like, I love The Sims. When Sims 4 came out, I slept outside of Walmart in my car so that I could be the first person to get a copy of The Sims 4. Like, I was calling all the places in Los Angeles, like, who's dropping The Sims? I'm a diehard. I'm a diehard, and yet I haven't played Sims at all this year, this entire year, hell, last year, because The Sims 4 is tragic. It's tragic, okay? And there's plenty of videos on YouTube of people berating EA about their lackluster continuation of the Sims franchise. And I gave up on it. I gave up because it's a waste of my time. Now, those of you who follow me on Twitter, the links to everything are in the description box below. Those of you who follow me on Twitter are aware that I am waiting for Sims 5 to come out. It has been confirmed that Sims 5 is going to come. It's in pre-production. Typically, Sims releases a new game every 5 years, and we're going on our 6th year. Like, and Sims 4, those of y'all in the comments who are going to be like, but they're not even done with The Sims 4. They cannot fix The Sims 4. They're not even trying to fix The Sims 4. So the most we can hope for is for a brand new base game and for them to revamp the series, because Lord have mercy, I don't need to do a video on how terrible The Sims 4 is. There's plenty of videos on YouTube and I've seen damn near all of them. So I want to talk about the things that I want to see in The Sims 5, because I'm trying to stay positive, and there's nothing positive about The Sims 4 except for those beautiful graphics. Those graphics are glorious, but let's just focus on The Sims 5 and let's talk about our wish lists so that hopefully EA is paying attention to what we're saying, or we can look back on this video a year, 2 years from now and be like, why didn't you listen when I told you ahead of time? Like, I'm putting my stake in the sand, okay? I'm marking that I said this before that game comes out, because if Sims 5 is tragic, I'm gonna have some things to say, especially since I'm building a whole new PC just to like run The Sims and all of its expansion packs. Yeah, I'm building a computer for The Sims. Try me, EA. So this is the video that I want to talk about what I want to see in The Sims 5. Yes, let's start with the base game. There needs to be weather in the base game. I don't care what you say. I do not care what you say. Weather is a basic element of the world. It's basic. It's basic. Weather should be in the base game. There's like, I have nothing else, because that's common sense. There's certain things that should inherently be in the base game, and can I just say, every base game should be better than the last base game, because I feel like Sims is just remaking the same base game with new graphics, and I'm like, no. Every time there's a new base game release, I expect more in that base game, okay? Why were pools missing from The Sims 4 on launch day? Why? That's basic elements of house building. Why was that missing? Every time they release a new base game, I expect more stuff to be in this base game than last base game, because y'all have been working on Sims forever. You telling me you can't chuck some extra things in the new base game? Stop being lazy. Moving on with this, all life stages should be supported in the base game. All of them. Don't give me babies that are objects, missing toddlers. All life stages should be playable in your base game. I don't even know why I have to say these things, but we have to tell EA that your base game should be in an actual playable base game. Like, it should be playable. As a base game, your game should be playable. I should not need anything besides the base game itself to have an enjoyable experience. The expansion packs are not supposed to be like necessary. They're supposed to be the frosting. They're supposed to be the sprinkles on top. They're supposed to be the little extra additives, but your base game should be a fleshed out playable game for all life stages. Babies, toddlers, young adults, teenagers, adults, elders, all of it. Why do I have to tell you this? It's your job. Oh my gosh, I want to talk about this so much. I want to talk about this. Expanded relationships, the complexity of personalities in Sims. Can we just talk about this? Because I made a list. I have a list. This is my list. I have all bullet points, because this is what makes The Sims so dull right now, and this is what could make it so great, okay? The expanded reactions and relationships is what The Sims is missing. If you don't understand what I'm saying, let me explain it to you, sis. Let me help you out. Number one, let's all admit that we're all very nefarious simmers, okay? Like, we all do some ridiculous things in our Sims worlds. We are all kind of terrible human beings when it comes to playing The Sims. All of us have created a sim that went and impregnated everybody in the town. Everybody has gone through a sim where you were just having like babies by random people left and right. Like, we do some ridiculous nonsense because we like to create chaos. We like to wreak havoc, but there's no consequences for our nonsense. I want consequences. Punish me, EA. This is what I'm saying. Sims should not know who is the illegitimate brother or sister from another sim. When your random sim goes and gets some townie pregnant and she has the baby, the father automatically knows it's his. Any siblings to that kid automatically knows that kids are siblings. And if that person who got the sim pregnant is a married man or a married spouse, there's no consequences there. Like, it's just like, boop, there's a baby, and I guess we have a stepchild, and it's just like, huh? Like, you're telling me I can make a sim and go get Eliza Pancakes pregnant and she will have that baby and Bob's not going to say nothing at all. There will be no outrage from Bob. Bob's not going to be like, where does baby come from? Where? There's just no consequences for any of our nonsense. Families should disapprove of who your significant other is or your spouse is. Everything in Sims world is like La La Land, okay? It's just La La Land. Everything's happy, everything's perfect, everything's okay. That's not a simulation game. Especially when you're a teenager, okay? Your parents don't necessarily approve of who you're around or who you're with. And that should matter in the Sims world. Who you're friends with, who you choose to date should have overarching ramifications for the rest of your life. If you are in a relationship with a sim that's known to be a robber or a bank robber or something, or he has a very bad reputation, your family's not necessarily supposed to be happy about that. Your friends may not necessarily want that for you. And this guy, do we have a reputation system? I feel like Sims 3 had something about reputations or whatnot, but the relationships that you cultivate within the Sims should impact your gameplay. If I have a sim that is my arch enemy and my sister in the game starts dating my arch enemy, like, that should create some conflict. It should be very difficult for me to date the brother of my arch nemesis because obviously I have a negative relationship with the people that sim cares about. Like, my relationships with other sims should impact the relationships what I have with the world, even with my job. Like, why is it so difficult though? Like, even this little bit would make gameplay so much more fun. And yet we get nothing. Like, I can go and marry my stepfather's second uncle twice removed. Like, nobody cares. I could divorce the person up the street and marry their next door neighbor. It creates no conflict. Everybody's just like, it's fine. In what world? Let's continue with this whole cheating thing because we all do it. In The Sims, we all do it. We love doing it, okay? We are some drama queens and we like to make drama. I do it. Oh, of course I do it. We all do it. So when it comes to the whole cheating Sims, if a sim cheats and is caught, both non-cheating Sims should be upset. Meaning, if your sim is running around doing the nasty, just doing nonsense and is not being a loyal, faithful partner because he's a terrible sim or whatever, the sim that he chose to cheat with, who doesn't necessarily know that this person is married, should also be upset at the sim for getting them in this predicament. Like, there should be some more happening besides the two sims that were in a relationship. Like, the third sim should have some feelings here too. This should impact everybody, and we don't have that depth. Sims is missing depth, and I just don't understand why. Because adding any of these things on this list would make the game so much better, and yet y'all are coming out with like snow days and lightsabers and droids, and I'm just like, do you want their franchise to die? Because it's bleeding out, and you're not trying for a transfusion, you're slapping on band-aids, Scooby-Doo band-aids, making it seem like this is just not a big deal. And I am kind of upset because this is the game that I've been playing since I was a child, and y'all don't give a damn. Like, EA, I don't want to be mean, but it really seems like you just don't care. In the Sims games, your past should impact your present. I believe we had something of this system in Sims 3 with the memories. What happened? That was great. Bring it back. Like, your past and what you did in your past should affect your present. If you had a crush when you were a teenager or you were an adolescent, then maybe that crush comes back in like future when you're an adult or a young adult. Like, these relationships should not fizzle out. They mean something. There should be more meaning. Like, for example, if you had an ex and then you guys broke up, later on in your game, maybe that ex comes back because they want to rekindle a relationship with you, or the person you divorced is still kind of in love with you, and that's creating conflict with your current spouse. Do you see what I'm saying here? If you have a rivalry or family dispute with another household, that should create conflict when your young teenage daughter wants to go get in a relationship from someone from that family. This is what I'm saying. We don't have any of this depth within The Sims 4. And as I was saying, who you choose to be friends with, who you choose to love, should affect your life, could affect your job. Like, these things have ramifications. You cannot, in the real world, get into a relationship with your boss and have no impact on anything. Never. Not gonna happen.
There's something that I would like to add here. Imagine that you are at a party and a friend of your spouse sees you cheating whilst at the party. Now, depending on the friendship level of the sim witnessing the cheating with your spouse versus the sim you are currently playing, that sim that is witnessing the cheating has the potential to snitch on you to your spouse that is not present at the party. That's the type of complexity that I'm talking about working into the Sims games. Also, it should not be possible for Sims to go around town having random children and then neglect and forget these children. These children and their mothers or fathers, exes or ex-spouse should be showing up and expecting that the Sim have some sort of relationship with their kids. And if the children are neglected, there should be some sort of feelings or impact towards their relationship with the neglectful parent. Or if you choose to flirt with someone's spouse and it fails, the other spouse should find out about it due to their spouse being loyal and should have some upset or enemy feelings towards the sim that initiated the flirtation.
There's just no complexity. It's just missing. It's just missing. And they're giving us stuff packs. They're giving us knitting. They're giving us garbage cans. When what we want, honestly, as simmers, I think every simmer can say what we want is that relationship dynamic, is that complexity. We want to destroy worlds and lives. We want the drama. We want the soap opera. And Sims is giving us sweaters. Like, get it together, because this game could be so good. But it's very obvious that they are not trying very hard. Every time they release something, it's almost like it's a re-release. Every base game that we get is pretty much the same as the last base game, just updated graphics. They don't give us anything extra in there. They don't give us anything more in there, which they should be. Every time I get a base game, you better have more stuff in this base game than you did have in the last base game. In this base game, I expect I should get a cat and a dog. I should be able to have a couple of pets. I should be able to have some hot tubs and some pools. I should be able to have like different worlds to go to. I should have certain things that weren't in previous base games. Your base game should be getting better as time goes on. And this goes with expansion packs. I'm so sick of them making expansion packs, but they're not new expansion packs. They're basically remakes of expansion packs that they've done in the past, only worse. Your expansion packs should not simply be remakes. Every time we get the magic expansion pack, we expect to get fairies, we expect to get vampires, we expect to get mermaids, we expect to get the witches and wizards and everything. And it's a remake of stuff we already had. There's nothing new, nothing extra. And quite honestly, it seems like they're taking out stuff that we really enjoyed having in the first place. Your expansion pack should be better than the previous expansion packs. Your expansion packs should have everything in the previous expansion pack plus more stuff. You know why? Because you already did it. You guys already made the coding. You already made the animations for that expansion pack. So quite honestly, all you need to do is build on it. Build on it. Like, I don't think most simmers would care if the expansions included some of the things that were from the past, as long as they built on that and expanded it more. Like, stop making remakes. Stop it. It's a saga, not a remake. This is not every Sims game is like a reboot instead of a continuation of the franchise. Your game should be getting bigger and better every time we see it, and yet all we get is updated mermaids. I can't. How am I supposed to enjoy this? Last thing, which has been on my mind, which I know we're not gonna get, but hey, you know, wish list, right? Can we get an adult expansion pack? No, not how you're thinking, okay? Get out of your dirty mind. I'm not saying like that, okay? But can we get an expansion pack that gives us the more mature things instead of all of us having to rush and go get the mods that you know we're gonna get? Give us what we want so you can profit off of it instead of relying on these modders who are saving your game. It's concluded throughout the entire Sims community here on YouTube that the modders have saved Sims 4, not you, EA. They saved your life. Honestly, cut them a check. Cut them a check. But when I say an adult expansion pack, I'm talking about the mods that we love. What is the mod that I saw? The mod that I saw was Life Tragedies, which added so much more depth and livability to the game. The Life Tragedies mod allows it so that it's possible for your sim to contract a deadly disease, a terminal illness, be in a car accident. Like, there were things that were happening that happens in everyday life. Like, Sims makes it seem like everything's always wonderful and butterflies constantly. Honestly, what makes life fun is not knowing if you're gonna live tomorrow. It's not knowing what's gonna happen tomorrow. But in The Sims, of course we know what's gonna happen. Nothing bad ever happens. Nothing bad ever happens. No one's gonna, like, there's no plane crash or, like, nothing happens. But adding in the Life Tragedies, your sim has the chance of contracting a deadly disease, being kidnapped. Like, that one was crazy, but I like that. This adult expansion pack could flesh out the more adult aspects of relationships when it comes to, like, step parents and stepchildren, the illegitimate children, and the way Sims react to certain things. There's mods that allow your Sims to not necessarily want kids, or they're not necessarily going to be happy about being pregnant. That is real life. These are things that add depth to our games and add chaos. This is what we want in gameplay. I want to create chaos. Look, we all have to confess to this. Simmers, we want the drama, we want the soap opera, we want the illegitimate kids, we want to wreck marriages, we want love stories, we want it all. Give us that complexity and keep your goddamn knitting needles. Please. Nobody asked for eco lifestyle. And this is coming from someone who is very environmentally aware, and I am an advocate. There were things that should have been put in the Sims game before pollution. Stop insulting us and stop pretending like everyone who plays this game is like 10 years old. I'm pretty sure, and especially through all the people that I've seen and here on YouTube, like, most of the people playing The Sims are teenagers to young adults. Like, we're talking 15 plus, all right? So stop giving us the kitty crap. Nope, nobody asked for the kitty crap. Anyways, this is just like my little wish list, what I want for The Sims 5 when it eventually does come out, because I'm done with The Sims 4. In the comment section below, what do you want to see in The Sims 5? What type of improvements do you want to see? There's a dog that I need to go chase because she doesn't know how to be quiet when I'm filming. But anyway, make sure you give the video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Stay in the House of Sovereign. We'll be having lots of fun over here. Family, friends, who knows? It'll be fun though. See you later. Bye.